Hey, it is Scott Scoot Frank Daddy coming at you with another game tonight. Mousy Sports versus Ex-Nihilo. Zazis Impaler, Godzuki, Crazy Capped, and Noxiac. Sounds like the old Rockcat squad. Was it Rockcat? Or was... No, Zazis was on Rockcat. Impaler wasn't. He was on Super Hot Crew, which became Meet Your Makers. A lot of these people have been in the league. And then on the other side, we have Beansu, Dan, Zio, Cedrion, and Mountain. Those guys were pretty good last split. Didn't really quite make the cut, but they're still in the NACS. Or NACS. EUCS, so they gotta be good. Am I right? Anyway. Skip ahead so we can look at these comps. We're gonna have, right now, a lot of sustained AP damage coming out of Ex-Nihilo. They're going to have an ADC that, well, is basically auto attack based, so they have a lot of damage coming out, like Draven or Jinx or something like that. Because if you go for something like Lucian or Graves or basically any non-meta ADC, you're not going to have the damage late game. Purely because you won't have so many auto attacks going off. Now with Jinx alongside you or Tristana alongside you, that's just so much damage that just won't be able to be stopped over time. And especially against Maokai and Sejuani, you're gonna need a lot of damage to get past them. Sivir is not the champion I was thinking of. But I went through this in another video where basically it used to be the Lucian versus Sivir, Lucian versus Sivir, Lucian versus Sivir. Then Callista came out, so it was Callista versus Sivir, Callista versus Sivir, Callista versus Sivir. And those are basically the two strongest ADCs. Lucian has fallen out of favor, he's not that good anymore, etc, etc. Twitch I wouldn't disagree with, but it's a pretty risky pick because of that Twisted Fate and the point and click snare from Maokai. So I just don't like Sivir as a pick here. Yeah, she has the movement speed, but you have no AD unless that is an AD Fizz top, which is unlikely. Actually, that's a lie. It is pretty likely that it might be an AD Fizz. Trinity Force into Blade of the Ruined King, perhaps. It's been done. I don't know what Zazis is going to be doing there. I mean, the tendency for a Smite top lane Fizz has been to go for the Cinder Hulk, which I definitely don't agree with, especially on someone who's supposed to be dealing damage. Because, and I think one of the casters mentioned it this past weekend, on Cinder Hulk Fizz, you don't build health. Therefore, the fact that you have a Cinder Hulk is useless because, yeah, sure, the AP AoE damage around you is great and all, but you just don't have any other tankiness. The reason you build Cinder Hulk is so you can stack health on health on health, so that eventually you get the value of another Warmogs out of this buff from your health, and that's only really possible if you go like 6 Rod of Ages Cho'Gath. But you get my point. Like, it could be the red enchantment, it could be the blue enchantment, Magus. Actually, with the change to Runeglaive in the upcoming patch, that could be interesting for a top lane Fizz because he could build Runeglaive and then go into something like, because he won't need the Lichbane, he'll already have the Runeglaive. See what I'm saying? I didn't read the full patch notes, so I can't exactly say what else the Runeglaive will be doing for him. But if I recall correctly, it helps you sustain in the jungle better, the long short of it. A lot of people are mad about it because of Fiddlesticks, and, well, that's not how you build Fiddlesticks jungle anyway. You go book, ward, and start your blue buff. Anyway, on the other side, we have, well, Maokai and Sejuani, two super tanky people that are just gonna try to make life a living hell for these carries. So that's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, Fizz is not tanky, Gragas is tanky, Alistar is tanky, so it's a more or less 2 tanks for each side. Thresh gets tanky. I wouldn't call him a tank because some Threshes build the Chalice, and that's not a very tanky item. So we'll see what Mountain does, because he gets the natural tankiness from just collecting so many souls, and that's a lot of armor. But there is so much AP on the EXN side that all the armor Mountain is going to be getting won't really matter. He's going to be a squishy Thresh. Then you have the Twisted Fate, which is just going to try to basically assassinate this Victor, but taking Cleanse, great idea, especially against all of the stuns and hook and slows and everything that's going to be coming out of MOUs, so Cleanse definitely the good option. I guess the reason why they picked Sivir is because of the spell shield. If you spell shield the right thing, then you're pretty much golden. It looks like Cedrion got the Sentinel to do the thing where it goes up around the river behind your own red buff, back up around the river. Yeah, it is actually doing that. Jayo and Godzuki just trading auto attacks a little bit. I think in the long term, Jayo's going to be winning this matchup. As far as poke and like sustained damage goes, it's going to be more or less even, because in the later parts of the game, Victor's, yeah, his laser, it's on a decently low cooldown. It also has a lot of damage coming out of it. It has the afterburn of the damage. So he's going to have a lot of sustained damage coming out. Likewise, TF gets that pick a card every like 5 seconds, so he's going to get a lot of that. Did Crazy Caps? Yes, Crazy Caps and Noxiac did do the Krug, not the Krugs, the other thing, the Grom. So they're going to be hitting level 2 with the same number of minions. But the thing is, Cedrion and Mountain push them in really hard. So that's going to be a real struggle, especially for an Alistar who gets bullied by Thresh. I mean, he just sits, lets the Flay auto attack build up so that he deals a lot of damage. Noxiac taking that heal without taking Headbutt Pulverize combo is going to set them back a little bit in terms of being able to trade. But they'll be able to sustain. Getting both of those minions with that boomerang. Very nice. It looks like Zazis is going to start Doran's Blade, so that is going to be AD on the side of Exnihilo. That's pretty good to see, considering all of the other AP that's coming out. Right now the cameras are jumping back and forth between every single lane possible. I noticed that it likes to stick in a bot lane mainly because that's just where most of the trading is. Impaler, I don't really know what he's doing there. He spent a long time there without really doing anything, and he finally shows just for nothing. Noxiac take him really low, and I mean, what did Impaler do? He sat in that Tri-Brush for about 30 seconds. Didn't do anything. So now he's clearing the Scuttle Crab. He's still basically even in farm with Sejuani though, so he didn't lose too much. But Sejuani just did finish at Wolf Camp. It looks like, oh wow, Impaler's going back around that Tri-Brush, so now Noxiac is going to go into Crazy Caps. Mountain is in a lot of trouble right here. Impaler on the good side of things gets the knockup, gets the first blood, doesn't even flash, doesn't even heal, and there was no way he was getting out of that. You needed to hook him and run over to him and flash away or something, I don't know. It would have had to be a miracle play to get out of that. It was a great gank by Impaler, and, well, to be fair, how Mouse didn't see that coming is beyond me. I was just talking in the last game about the diversity in top lane and how you can play basically whatever the hell you want. up in top lane, and it'll still be viable thanks to taking, you know, ignite or teleport or flash or basically whatever. And I think it holds true in this game especially because, you know, some fizzes would probably take ignite, some taking all the Sivir, obviously. I hope he doesn't go for some stupid buff like the Valor. I mean, of course he wouldn't in a lane, but it's in its lane. Right now, though, Zazz is trading pretty effectively with Beanzu, but what he doesn't know is that Dan is here. He's playing for Trickster to try to get out. He doesn't have Flash, so he's going to get slowed. And he's going to die here. No way he's getting out of that one. Beanzu with the kill, and that is traded back 1-for-1 now. Crazy Cap's just hitting level 5, but he's being zoned out of a lot of money right here. That entire gold lead is on top of that Kalista. It's 400 gold, and that is 12 minions up, Kalista is. It's going to be really hard to get back from this deficit, especially on Sivir, who is super mana hungry early on, and doesn't even deal that much damage from the abilities. What they need right now is to try to shove the wave to the tower so you can stop the freeze. Or get more gank pressure. Mountain still has his flash though, so being able to get a gank down, pretty difficult. It's going to be interesting to see how EXN reacts to the top lane. Because Sivir is slowly falling behind. That's just because of all of the auto attack damage that'll come out of Mountain auto attacking once, and then Cedric auto attacking once. Crazy Cap's happy to take the hook. Noxiac happy to make the heal. But they can't do anything in this lane. They should have tried for a lane swap. Had Zazz screwed. He has Smite. Yeah, it would have been really smart to go for the lane swap here. Zazz is still getting beaten up by this move too. And now we have a huge engagement right here. We might have to run some flash to get out. Maybe even here. Here comes Impaler. They don't want to try to turn this. No, they don't want to try to turn it. That would have been a silly play. And they both would have died. Impaler might have been able to get a return kill, but what would it matter when you're carrying your support's dead? What they need to do is cheese. Flash onto Kalista, headbutt her up into the air, have Fizz teleport in. There's an aim right there. It's pretty simple. All Alistar has to do is flash Q. There it is! What did I just say? Oh man, the flash combined with the Gragas ultimate saves his life. Godzuki getting ganked in the mid lane too. Doesn't have the damage to deal with Zio. He doesn't even, not even close to death. And then you have Gragas trying to come in for the counter gank. Nothing gonna happen. Godzuki just goes down. A great reaction from Sejuani to go in on this very immobile Victor. Now Impaler is taking a lot of damage from Dan. The Sejuani isn't exactly all over the map, but she's in the right place at the right time. And it nets a kill, and it tells Impaler to go back to your own country. And by country, I mean don't. Now, what was interesting about that bot lane is what Zazz is doing with Beanzu and losing in that engagement. Zazz has pops the ultimate for seemingly no reason. He is just not nearly as strong as his Maokai right now, even with the one health item. And that is a Cinderhulk Fizz. It's just not a build I agree with, and I don't see why these pro players keep building it. Go for damage. You're an assassin. Why wouldn't you go for damage? Sure, Fizz's thing is damage over time with his W, but just go for more damage. Like, a little bit of health is not going to help you when you're dead. The Twisted Fate is going to be, you know, 50 HP away from death, and you're going to be thinking, damn, my Cinderhulk didn't do enough. Nah, it's not because of the Cinderhulk, it's because he didn't buy any damage. That and Cinderhulk in a fight, unless you're someone like obnoxiously sticky like Nunu, doesn't really do that much. Like Fizz, yeah, he's pretty sticky, but a few, like his cooldowns are pretty low, so a few hops, skips, and jumps away from him. Peel from the especially mountain right now. Cedrion's gonna be fine. He's not gonna get touched by this Fizz. And if he does, he's immediately going to get peeled off. Then you have people like Nunu, who's just, I am please do not hurt me. And he just walks through the entire thing. Points if you got the reference. Anyway, Beanzu going back to farm under his own turret. A 1K gold lead for MOU's Esports right now, and, well, they're looking good in this 12 minutes of play. Zaz is not getting the very good end of this deal in top lane. Beanzu, first item with the Righteous Glory, so he's going to be dealing a lot of damage. Twisted Fate with the cooldown boots, that's something I haven't seen often, but it is something I like. It's new, helps with cooldowns, so you get to pick a card more often. And I think it's a pretty cool choice, adaptation to the new meta. Lichbane first item though, that's going to be interesting to see in a fight. Meanwhile, Victor, his opponent, and I can't really hover to see, but I think he upgraded his passive on this. I can't exactly tell because I don't play that much Victor. But I do have that Creator Victor skin. Damn, is it nice. Now, Zazis keeps smiting Beanzu, and it's just not doing anything. But yeah, he gets more true damage over time. But it just doesn't do that much. Especially to someone who can sustain through all of it. Like, the reason why true damage is kind of a mixed bag is because, holy cow, it can't be resisted by anything. But because it can't be resisted by anything, very few champions have it, and it's on so low damage that it like doesn't even matter. Like Olaf, he has true damage on his E, and it's only 250 at like max rank. And that's if you don't have any. If you build AD, you're going to get blown up before you even reach the fight, and sure, you'll have 400 true damage on an attack speed-based cooldown, but you'll be blown up. So often. Then you have champions like Cho'Gath. If you build an AP, he's... Well, there's going to be a fight here. Noxiac getting a little bit caught out at their stun card going down, but he's not going back. Gaio is completely killed out of it. Victor did a whole lot of damage right there. Fizz going in on Beanzu, but I mean, he's a giant mount guy. He's not going to take that much damage. And then the cleanse off of the hook. I don't know why he did that. It's not like they would have turned it back around. A good fight for MOU's, or rather, a good fight for EXN Hilo. A bad fight for MOU's. It seemed like they just got to the fight a half a second too late, and then by the time everything happened, Dan is gonna catch out, or Dan is gonna get out right here. Oh! The headbutt to stop the Q from happening, and it actually helps him, because it puts him by the very little damage Fizz, and, well, he gets out.
It's still something, like, I get why it's done, but I just don't like it. The Cinder Hulk Fizz, because, yeah, you have damage over time on your W, you get damage over time from your aura, and then you get damage over time from your smite. But that just sounds really cheesy. Like Heimerdinger. Yeah, he has a lot of damage over time because of his turrets. And that's what makes him good. But Fizz isn't a damage over time champion. He's an assassin. He is meant to deal all of your health in less than not even 5 seconds, in less than a half a second. And he can't do that if he has built a tank. His base damage is not that high.
Twisted Fate is caught out really bad. He's going to flash away. Godzuki misses the laser. Xiao is going to have the stun card ready, so there will be no follow-up. Zazis can't roam down because he's just too fast. But Dan taking a decent amount of damage from that Gragas Q. Zazis and Bijou going in on each other, and like I just said, that fish dealt absolutely no damage to someone who has a half of a magic resist item. Granted, yes, it is Maokai, he's naturally tanky, runes and masters and whatnot, but that is a Fizz. That is a Fizz that is supposed to be an assassin. Fizz is not a tank. Fizz is not an AD carry. Fizz can't heal. Fizz is an assassin, and he can't even deal half the health to a tank. It's build path, and it's just I don't like it at all. If you hear me talk about Lee Sin, you can hear me talk about all day about how I don't like Lee Sin as a champion in this current meta. He used to be good at one point, and now red buff is on Zazza, so he's even more damage over time. But how's it gonna help you farm under turret? Oh no, he's gonna walk away. Will it? Will it? Nah, Satomi's gonna go back. Not reveal that she was in the bush ever. Or will she? They might think about going for the dive. It is a Fizz, so he's very slippery, but nah, Sejuani. Nope. Sejuani, what are you doing? You're breaking my heart. You keep hitting the B button. I'm watching the minimap. Sejuani is still there. All you have to do is hit the W button, Maokai. Just hit W and you're dead. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Thresh is seen. There it is. He's trying to bait out the top. Zazz is using this trade anyway. That was what? What? Oh my! That was awful. That was just awful. Hold on, we have to go back. Because that was just awful. Look at all of this time that they're fighting each other. Look, what? Let's go back a little bit further to the start of the fight. Chaining CCs is one of the strongest things you can do in the entire game of League of Legends. Alright, so it's coming up. Alright, and the mountain was saved. And then right here, he's being locked down as we speak. He's gonna get knocked up by Maokai right here. At this moment, Sejuani should have ulted right out onto the Fizz. You can't see it, but I'm pointing at this screen very angrily. But Sejuani should have ulted out onto this Fizz. Even save the Q. Just ult the Fizz, let Beansu deal the damage. He's a Maokai. He can't really do damage, but the fact that Zazis will have been in the same place for so long, he'll be down to about here in health. You save your Q so you can Q him under the tower anyway. Alright, so you didn't go in right there. Going now. Going now. Going now! This was the close... Oh, let's go back. I'm at 21. I need to be at like 19. That is the closest right there that he gets to Sejuani. Go. Throw out your ultimate right now. That is the last thing he will expect. You throw out your ultimate. Maokai is going to have his W cooldown up in seconds. And then you're going to be able to lock him down. But that was just awful, awful timing. Oh my goodness. That was one of the worst ganks I've ever seen in semi-pro League of Legends. And I watched Season 2. Anyway, Godzuki and Impaler are caught out here. They're going to try to run back to their own turret, but Twisted Fate, he has the ultimate down. He's not going to use it, though. And they're going to run back to their turret. And now Dan doesn't have an ultimate. Noxiat catches out Mountain, knowing that the Callista ultimate is down. They try to turn it back onto Callista. They have them separated. That was the smart idea, but they just couldn't execute it that well. Great idea from EXN bot lane. And my Skype is making noises, so I'm going to turn that off. Anyway, that was a great idea to get Cedrion and Mountain separated, because one of the biggest sources of damage is the fact that, you know, the Callista auto attack and the Thresh auto attack will stack, plus the Thresh auto attack from his E is going to deal a lot of damage. So, yeah, a good idea to get them separated, but they just didn't have the damage at the point to really take advantage of it. Plus, Callista was too busy kiting. It wasn't really... It just wasn't the best setup for EXN to take advantage of it, despite it being, you know, a very good situation for them. Not going to take out that Sentinel for whatever reason. Too busy taking the Skull Crab, but they do finally take out the Sentinel. They're going to walk the long way home. They have a ward in that Tribe Rush, though, so they're going to see the Sejuani in their bot lane right there. They're pinging help on the pink ward, knowing Sejuani is right there. Zaz is being pushed in really hard. There isn't an immediate interrupt for Beansu's teleport. The fish does interrupt it, but it takes a while to actually activate. And I think if you teleport, it goes with you, which is pretty funny. Godzuki gonna cleanse off the Jaio is gonna flash out of Zaz is gonna press him. There goes the shark. Dan is taking no damage from Zaz. Zaz is a little bit caught out in the middle of the team. Beansu's gonna flash away from him. Taylor's ultimate, the cast, is not gonna do anything. And I just lost myself at the start of that fight. I was just naming names. As a solo caster, I can't get away with that. But now EXN is going to be on the dragon. I'm going to take it seemingly for free, but what will the fight come at? Beansu's going to get Impaler stunned up by Ban. Zaz is going to try to run on Cinder, but Cinder is going to run away. Impaler is going to be the first one to go down in this fight. Cedrion is a bit caught out, but he's kiting out Zaz because Zaz has no damage. There's the double kill. Noxiac going to be the next victim. 3 kills to 1 in that fight. Overall, a good fight for Mouse, but they came just a bit late to the dragon. They couldn't exactly steal it away. They had the opportunity, but the smite was just really good from Impaler. Impaler already didn't have the ultimate, so he couldn't push them all back so they can, you know, leave the area from the fight. Basically, all of the ultimates were down, so they couldn't exactly fight, except for the Victor ultimate for some reason. So they couldn't escape the fight. They just had to get that one kill and say, alright, I guess that's good. It's not bad though, they got the second dragon. Well, the first one leads to the second, which leads to the third, which leads to the fifth. So, if they can survive, they can well, 5th Dragon is definitely in their sights. And what they've been doing so far is setting themselves up well for it. Like, that previous mid lane engage, I think it was Mouse that aggressed. So they just kind of went with it, went with the fight, made sure not to lose anything major. And then when they saw, oh, look, they're under their turret, let's go get Dragon. Beansu, what have they thought out here? Gonna have to hold himself, officially figuring this out. So Beansu is not gonna get stunned up for so long, but he will be juggled by that Alistar. He's gonna use his ultimate to try to farm, and Fizz is gonna get the shutdown from all that damage over time. It's just still a build that I don't agree with at all, and I think it's awful. Like, this is the one case where Fizz is actually building more health. But what is a tank Fizz gonna do?
He's just gonna be sticky and have no substance. He's gonna be like Olaf after Olaf got Olaf. He's gonna be sticky but do nothing. And that's if you can land the abilities. You know what I mean? Fizz's Q is a point and click. I can't wait until they turn that into a skill shot. But you know, technically it's worth the Fizz build with the Spirit Fizzage. He doesn't have any sustain in his kits. Unless they changed something about Fizz in 5.11 and gave him a heal. Or if he's just going to be relying on the Alistar heals to beef up that passive and steal it. Why did he buy that? Cooldown reduction? That's the only really feasible reason I could see him buying that over Banshees. Especially against a comp that will thrive on picks, Banshees is ridiculous. I honestly don't know what Xaxis is thinking before. He has a lot of MR, he has tenacity. I mean, he's already pretty hard to catch, so having tenacity is adjacent to that part of the game. But what we're forgetting here is that the rest of the game is full of crap. I have no idea what Xaxis is doing. It perplexes me. And I'm just going to be like Deficio when talking about any of the X-Gamer games and just stop before I just go insane thinking about it. Speaking of which, the Randuin's Corki from Genja is pretty OP. And the blue Varus build is actually working, but in the mid lane, so thank you, Genja.
I think Poros are starting to get overrated. At first I thought Poro Rider Sejuani, that's adorable, but then I look at it and I'm like, what is this monstrosity? Poros have definitely lost their charm the more Riot try to market them. In my opinion, at least. Jaio is going to take a lot of damage from Gansuka, and he's going to go down here. That was a really great 1v1. Both of them burned a lot of summoners. TF getting the short end of the stick in every way in that fight. And, oh damn, dropped into the wall, going to Q back over. He's going to be fine. I'd like to go back to what I was talking about before, but I honestly don't remember what I was talking about. Oh right, Poros. They were super adorable at first. And super lovable. And then there's a huge 4-man Sejuani that's going down. Crazy Cat that's running as a cycle. Dad is still on top of BC that's secure. Xaxis comes in on the teleport tail, gets hit. Then you have Mountain getting the Sejuani back. There's BC in the middle of everything. Naxia taking out the He doesn't take it anymore. Sejuani is going to get the rend off. And he's going to get so much damage on everyone. Zazis is going to get hooked up. What is that tenacity doing for you right now? Zazis going to get stunned under the tower. What is that build doing for you? And I say that, but in reality, it was just a fantastic fight from Mountain. They kited it out perfectly. They initiated it perfectly. Everything just went so swimmingly from Mountain in that fight that, well, you really can't blame it on any one thing on Snyro's part. You had Crazy Cat that, well, I mean, there was a 4-man second line. You can't script a 4-man second line. That's just ridiculous. Then, on top of that, you had a Godzuki who didn't have his ultimate, who didn't have his flash. So, Victor was a sitting duck. He didn't have as much damage as he really should have. And he just got him up the process. Then you had Sivir, who was right next to the tanks. Sivir, yeah, you have your ultimate, but that's not a dash. Dragon, not going to get stunned away. That's going to be the third buff. Another huge ultimate coming out from Dan. Going to stun up 3 people, and here comes Zazis. He's not dealing any damage to Beamsu. And, well, there goes Dan trying to deal some more damage from Paler. He gets the knockup, but Dan is just going to belly slam away. And they're going to finally rotate to take this bot lane turret. They're going to keep shoving up bot lane, and despite not getting the dragon, they have a massive advantage coming into this. Excuse me. Coming into this fight. Naxiak not going to be able to get his knockup combo. He is super squishy, and that is because he switched from a Targon's to a coin, and I didn't even notice. Now, ordinarily, that would be a fantastic item choice because, well, for one, better initiation. But you lose out on a lot of tankiness, so, you know, selling an item, selling those stats, you're not going to get nearly as much back as you should. Oh wait, no. I am completely wrong. He had the coin the entire time. Because in lane, he was getting 5 gold from the kill. You don't get that if you don't have shots. That's my bad. I was wrong. And that has been happening far too often lately. But anyway, going back to that, some people, not all of them, definitely not in this game, Naxiak going to get called out. He's going to use the ultimate prematurely. He's going to get stunned up under his own tower. He's still got quarter health. So this is definitely not where Alistar wants to be. His ultimate is down. He's super squishy. And, well, you can get really screwed over. Zaz is going to get hooked. Beamsu's just going to tank up this turret. That turret's going to go down with his rotate top. They're going to get another turret. They take 4 turrets with this Baron. That is extremely efficient. And even though they didn't get any inhibitors, this is going to snowball them to much greater lengths, much greater heights. And if Mountain can land another hook, this game's going to be over. This damage is going to be another 5-man stun. Just doesn't even matter who it's on. There's the hook on the Naxiak. Not going to go in on it. Tower is half health. They still have Baron buff for a very limited time. And I think Baron buff finally went off. I'm still, I'm not going to talk about it. Next I'm not going to talk about it. There's the it's going to miss. Naxiak gets a 3-man knockout. Fantastic. Jaio gets completely dismantled in that fight. But Beansu doing his own work on the back line. Naxiak can get taken out without even using his ultimate. But Jaio, well, Mouse doesn't really care. They're still here to push. Support for a mid laner. Definitely the best trade you can ask for if you're going to trade. But they don't really care. So as is going to get hit. There goes the damage forward. Nothing wrong with it. Dan doesn't have his ultimate. I was going to ask why didn't he use his ultimate, but I realized he doesn't have it. I didn't see him using the last fight. He must have not made that much of a back. But they're still going to siege. They're going to wait for their turret, and it looks like they're actually going to back here. So the siege is over. They get 3 towers with their Baron buff. Incredibly efficient. They use the skirmish at the end, so they can't secure the 4th tower.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
But what they do now is they get items and then just go back to the grind. Dragon is going to be spawning in about 3 minutes, same with Baron, so coming down to the wire here for, oh, there it is.
2 minutes actually for Dragon. Which means Baron is not long after. Now that is one of the more frustrating things in the late game as a support. Thankfully I don't play support that much. But if I did, I would want to hurt someone really badly. Whenever I get a target, I have 4 Targon stacks. Let me clear the wave. Okay, Thresh. You gonna kill it? I'm waiting. You gonna kill the minion? Nah. Well, what do you plan on doing? I don't know. I have these Targon stacks. Yeah, well, they're not helping. Smart buy on Thresh to get the pocket. They have 2 Frozen Hearts. They have 2 Righteous Glories. They have an incredible amount of damage coming in from both of their carries if one of them gets stacked. Though there is a huge disparity. The 0-4 Twisted Fate as compared to the 5-0 Callista. Someone is having a good day. And someone is saying, thank God I have this person to carry me. Xiao, I'm not sure if he was caught out and ulted there to retreat, or if he just ulted there and get there. I don't know what this guy's doing. But the tank Fizz build continues to perplex me. EXN not looking so hot. They're 9k gold down against a pick assassin team fight all around badass comp. Cedrion is dealing insane amounts of damage with that Hurricane, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper. Just so much damage. Like, jeez. What is his 6th item gonna be? Mercurial Scimitar, I would hope. That does cleanse off the Fizz Fish, but who cares? It's Fizz Fish. EXN smartly gonna give up the Dragon to trade for some turrets. Now, late game, that buff, that 6% AD and AP buff, that's insane late game. So what Mao's just got, a pretty big deal. But EXN trying to get back from that pressure, trying to get back some money. They got a little bit of that back in taking 2 towers. They also have the Scuttle Crab vision, so they know when Baron is going to happen. But it's not like Mao's just going to care, they're just going to do Baron. Going to back off. Yinzu. Taking a tiny bit of damage.
As much as I'm ragging on Zaz's build, he's not actually doing bad, and
He's going in on someone, but I'm not watching it. He's going in on Xiao. He's actually doing a fair amount of damage to Xiao, but he can't get the kill. Xiao's going to flash out of there. He's going to use his stun card on Noxiac. Noxiac is just going to soak up so much damage. About 4 mana. And, well, Alistar finally goes down. Beezer's in the middle of everything. Oh my god, Cedrion flashed forward into the fight. Zazus, you have no damage. What are you doing? And that is basically going to be the end. Right now, Mal's gonna. Oh man, knocked him out. He's pretty low. Beezu, he gets stunned up. He doesn't even care. Not even a ghost of a chance of a steal. Taylor flashes at the wall. Beezu goes with him. Now Cedrion goes over the wall. And, well, he's gonna get the kill. He is godlike. And all I have to say is, Cedrion, you are currently 4v5ing because, to be fair, Twisted Fate has not done much this game. The 0-4 and 4 Twisted Fate, as compared to the 2-1-12 Cedrion, the 5-1-9 Maokai. Like, are these guys on the same team?
I just find it funny how one guy is doing so awful, but the rest of his team is doing fantastically. Like, good job, EXN for shutting down Twisted Fate, but the rest of the team is huge, so good luck. I honestly don't think X Nihilo can pull this out. Sivert is not a late game carry. She does not have going into the early parts of the game due to her kit not really being good for auto attack because she doesn't have true damage like Rain. She doesn't have an auto attack reset like Lucian. She doesn't have auto attack bonus damage like Jinx.
But it does look like there's going to be a cheese in the top lane. Zaz is... Oh, the Sentinel just walks past them all. Cedrion. Oh, the fish dodges out from Zaz's, and here comes the rest of the team. It's 3v4, and here comes the squad. Jayo still not getting us. Oh, wait, no, they got to get never mind. I was going to say he didn't even get the assist. But, you know, Noxiac, not going to. The cheese fails. Crazy Cats gives up the first death. Heedless Twisted Fate. Ultimate from Gravis misses out completely. Surely the game from Mouse. I gotta say, it was a pretty good game from both sides early on, but then Mouse just ran away with it. There isn't really much to say aside from Tank Fizz and Cedrion, you're a monster. Well, good game. Good life. This is Scott's Good Ass Frank Daddy. Please like, subscribe, leave some constructive criticism below. Follow my Facebook, follow my Twitter. Follow my Facebook. Don't even try to look me up on Facebook. I don't want you on Facebook. What am I saying? Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter. Donate to me if you are rich Uncle Pennybags. You are a Nigerian prince who is here to return the deposit that I gave him. Or if you're just a really lovely person that wants me to make more videos on my own time. Which I'm going to do whether you pay me or not. So, that's that. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm going to come back to you tomorrow with the last game from EU and possibly some NA games. I hear the last EU game was a doozy. So, I'm going to be excited to bring that to you. And I'm excited to possibly work with these teams in the future. I'm excited for a lot of things. A lot of things that might not happen. But, you know, you just got to work hard. And this is normally the part where you should have turned it off already because I just go on talking about nothing. But, you know, that's me. That's what I do. And that's what you like about me. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. Especially this long. Jesus, man. What are you doing? Alright, well, I had fun. I hope you had fun. And I'm going to bring you some more fun in the future. Thank you for watching. I will be back.